Hello and welcome back to your second Visual Basic tutorial. Well, let's crack on, shall we? Let's just open it up first. And let's do a random tutorial. As always, they're never planned with me. Let's create a new project. You can either create from this link, or we'll go File, New Project. You can name it whatever you want. We work with Windows, because basically that's the cool thing. No one really uses this shit these days. So we'll call this, just to prove you can call it whatever, we'll call it Shush. You know, why not? First thing I'm going to teach you is how to get rid of this. Now imagine you make programs and you sell them, and then this is what you're presented with. Form 1. That just looks unprofessional. So let's teach you how to get rid of that. Click there, and basically a properties panel will open. Come down to text, click it, backspace, remove, and just imagine you created the best Google software in the world. Google, I don't know, Google's best software. I know it's not very creative, but it will do for this purpose. Right, so you've got Google's best software. You've got a button, you've put it on now. This is the size of your program. That's the only size of it, like that. So, someone comes along, tries to use it, cool. And then they press this button. But the size of your program is there. Now look at all this extra space. There's no need for that. It just looks crap and unprofessional. So what we do something very simple. We get rid of this maximize box. Click here. We come up to maximize box and we set that to false. So now what happens is, look, can't click it. You only get what is required. Good. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to double click this. Actually no, I'm not going to change the words. And I'm going to call this click for your name. Oops. Click for your name. Another thing I want to tell you is we can actually go up here. Also, after clicking, you have to remember, the property you want to access is the one you've got to click on. So you want to access the whole window, click there. I don't want to do that. I want to access this button. So I'll click that button. It will highlight. Then I want to come up, click on font. Click there. I like mine bold, and let's just have 20. Click for your name, make that a bit bigger. And now I want to change the background colour, so come up, back colour. Should we have that red? Oh, that is great. I like that. Let's do that. Let's write some code. Double click the button. Now we create something called a variable. To do that, we say dim. I'm going to say name equals Ross. Don't worry, I'll explain it in a minute. Right, yo. And now I'm going to say if name equals Ross. Have you noticed when I said if name equals Ross, it actually makes the rest of the code for you? That's why it's the best language to get started with in the .NET framework, if not the best language to get started anywhere. It actually puts the code in there for you. All I did was click enter, and then we'll write a message box, and we learnt that from the last tutorial, so we don't need to go over that again. Message box dot show your name is, and instead of writing Ross, I'm going to do something like this, plus name. Now let me see if you guys can work this out. Your name is Ross. Now why do you think it said your name is Ross? We didn't write your name is Ross, we wrote your name is name. That is because Ross is stored in name. Now imagine that is like a bucket, a big gigantic bucket, yeah? And just imagine you've got, I don't know, no, imagine that's a bin, and you've got something to put in that bin, like a piece of tissue. Now imagine on that piece of tissue you've wrote the name Ross. You threw it into the bin. Now I want to get that out of the bin. So basically I said, oi, Ted. Now Ted is message box dot shut. Yeah? And Ted is going to go in and get that piece of tissue out the bucket. So that's what he did. Out the bin, sorry. He got it out the bin. And he opened it up and he saw the name Ross. Just like we do this. So basically, Ted, got it out of the bucket, you've opened it up, and he says your name is Ross. Do you see how it works? So that's what that does. But what happens if your name's not Ross? What happens if I say Billy? Well, nothing will happen just because, look, we're looking for Ross. Can't find Ross. You know, we've opened the tissue up. It says Billy. You know, it's all confused. So that's why we write some other logic for that. We will say else if. Else if name equals, sorry, Billy. Okay, and let's just copy that. Your name is, we won't write plus name because name equals to Ross. We'll say your name is Billy. Let's see if that works. Perfect. So basically name equals Billy. I'm saying if name equals Ross, name does not equal Ross. Let's skip over that. Else if, like else, if name equals Billy, then your name equals Billy. But what happens if it doesn't equal either? Let's write, I don't know, Kevin. See, again, we've gone into the bin, we've opened the tissue, name equals Kevin. But that's not what we've asked him to do. We've asked him to look for the names Ross or Billy. He saw Kevin, so he's all confused. So now what we do, we write else. Hold on. So else, and then we'll copy that because it's a big time saver. And we'll say, I don't know, to make it easier, Ted is confused. He will sit back down. Now watch. Ted is confused. He will sit back down because Ted went to the bin. He opened the tissue. It didn't say Kevin. He's looking for the name Kevin, by the way. But it didn't say that. It says Ross and it says Billy. It does not say Kevin. So Ted is basically confused. I really hope I explained it. I have really tried to, but if it didn't come out well, please comment below this video. I will try and explain it just that little bit better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please subscribe if you do like them. All I can say is just keep practicing. Best thing to do is keep practicing. You will get better. Have a great day.